these are different sessions. The audience also will be divided at different places. In this session, we have 4 distinguished guests amongst us as speakers. It is being chaired by Professor N.C. Panda, who is holding the prestigious ICCR chair of the Sanskrit languages and literature at Silpkam University, Bangkok, Thailand. Then the speakers are Professor Dilip Charan, Head Department of Philosophy, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. Professor Dharam Singh, he is from Patiala University, Punjab, and he will speak on Dada Bhagwan and his holistic philosophy. Professor Dr. Jagdish Patagiri is here. Jagdish, yourself, he is Professor of Gandhian philosophy at Cotton University, Assam, isn't it? So, we welcome them on our behalf, and each speaker will be given 15 minutes, because by 1 hour and 10-15 minutes or so, we would like to end this session, and the last 15 minutes will be for question and answer, and our chair also will have his remarks. So, I invite first Professor Dilip Charan, Gujarat University, to speak on the subject, holistic way of thinking and living is the imperative of Asian philosophy. Dilip Charan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Jai Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand. Honorable Chairman of this session, my co-speakers, and all our dignitaries. My topic is holistic way of thinking and living is the imperative of Asian philosophy. Life has meaning, and to find its true meaning is the perennial quest of mankind throughout the history. In order to live life, we must know, understand and live life. Living has no proxy. In order to live and learn life, we must love to live, which requires wisdom to live, because it is wisdom that makes us simple, independent, magnanimous and truthful. Wisdom is our prime quest, and to be earned through self-reflexivity of person and people. Wisdom alone can save us from havoc and despair, from the shriveled abstraction of formalism. Wisdom, Leonardo da Vinci calls the noblest pleasure, the joy of understanding, the highest music of the soul. This music has been sung by humanity through ages. It is the music of human civilization. Civilization is a social order promoting cultural creation. Where chaos and insecurity ends, civilization begins. Where there is fearless curiosity and freedom is secured by understanding and through embellishment of life, then and then civilization flourishes. Dr. Radhakrishnan has rightly said, for thinking mind to blossom, for arts and sciences to flourish, the first condition that is necessary is a settled society providing security and leisure. Except God, humanity has devised the grandest ideas is that of civilization. The event of 9/11 has given a new life to the idea of civilization. The idea of civilization is not a passive idea against the existing strategies of thinking. We can discover and create the ideas which we need. The idea of civilization demands not the clash of civilization, but it demands freedom and courage to think. The word civilization carries an aura of grace, dignity, good order, and security. According to Huntington, civilization has a long standing, widespread vision of life. Civilization to him is a way of shaping, explaining, ordering experiences and identities in which we are born. Our participation forms of horizon of understanding which makes truth and sympathy difficult. The real clash to Huntington is between civilization and barbarism. Either both will end together or end separately. The other has to die. The rift between quality and quantity needs to be subsided. We need a good widespread concept of life wherein quantity and quality must align. It is a key element in civilizing process through which we can get real civilized community. True quality of civilization is constituted by high quality relationship of ideas, objects and people. This high quality relationship is the life support system of civilization. High quality of relationship is love. This love includes humanity. Love is a civilizing mission which constructs what is genuinely good and has greater the appetite for it. The pursuit of love is an index of civilization for the 21st century. Love for ideas, objects and people are neither cool nor clever. This love is at odds with the superficiality of social allure. It is this phenomena of love which creates a mental space for reflection and human dignity. This mental space created by love is the best that has been thought and said in the world for stimulation and guidance. It resists humanity to create a source of a new dogma. Human love is a concrete negation of dogma and dogmatism. This love has an appetite for self-improvement as it resists the logic of negation or negativity. Peace earned by love is not just the absence of violence. Amrita Pritam has said, peace is when the flowers blooms. This flowering and the possibility to blossom in the backbone of Asian civilization and Asian philosophy. Asian philosophy is the blossoming of life. This blossoming is not possible without wisdom. Sri Rajgopalachari said, without wisdom in the heart, all learning is useless. Love and wisdom are the pillars of civilization. Asian philosophy cannot construct ideas, objects and society on the debris of the past heritage. Spiritual aspect of life is a significant part of Asian philosophy. Tagore boldly states, we must accept truth when it comes from the West and not hesitate to render it over the tribute to admiration. Unless we accept it, our civilization will be one-sided. It will remain stagnant. Let us try to win the heart of the West with all that is best, not in revenge or in contempt, but with goodwill and understanding in a spirit of mutual respect. This Catholicity of mind and holistic way of thinking and living is and can become the mission statement of Asian philosophy. This has been clearly stated in a letter to Charles Andrews by Tagore in August 1920. I feel clearly that the ultimate reality of man's life in his life in the world of ideas, where he is emancipated from the gravitational pull of the dust and he realizes that he is a spirit. How to gain our freedom of soul in spite of the cramped condition of our outward circumstances. How to ignore the perpetual insult of our destiny so as to be able to uphold the dignity of man, the universal man. To establish the universal kingdom of the self, through self-search, Asian philosophy demands the support of the best self, that is the holistic self. We live in a civilization and its problematics are war, poverty, greed, mismanagement of resources, crime, ignorance, depression, pollution and terrorism. But all this can be traced back to the most private place, the inner lives of individual. This to Asian philosophy is not a retreat but a right place, which Gandhiji has symbolized as Hriday Kunj, the abode of one's own and a place to negotiate with one's own being, the place of inner recesses of one's own being, the inner seat or place to start. With this capital, Asian philosophy can flourish as a way of thinking and can establish holistic collectivity or connectivity. Asian philosophy focuses on the vision of inner and outer human flourishing, wherein the integration is the hardcore. This inner and outer integration is the essence of holistic living, and to Asian philosophy, it is also a civilizational demand which would internalize life-giving ideas are persuaded not by fear but by joy. It is the joy that penetrates to the depth of the soul. In this respect, Asian civilizational practices are closely connected with spiritual prosperity. Spirituality is the whole of person's inner life, not distinct from the non-material order of existence. This spiritual inner life envisioned by Asian philosophy and civilization has four aspects. The depth of thought. The depth of thought which occurs in connection with understanding, explaining innerness. Here, depth is a cultivation, protection and guidance to the good experience. It gives weight to the world. It demands authenticity and intimacy to person and people. Feeling or experiencing. Feeling or experiencing is not only verbal but more an expression of feeling and experience. Here, thought and experience need not collide but act in a cohesive way. Attachment to higher things. This harmonizing feeling or experience aspires for good and higher life. Good life aspires for higher things. Beauty, wisdom and goodness are the prime sources of the soul's nourishment for the growth of the soul. The higher experiences is necessarily an upliftment, and this upliftment is the path, the new way of looking and living in the world. This new existence creates a mental space which is a prejudice-free space. Asian philosophy, with its firm footing on spirituality, need not rest on exclusion. Upanishadic saying is Annam Brahmeti Vyajanath, which means the material prosperity is encoded with high degree of spirituality. Spiritual prosperity is sympathetic to material prosperity. When these two, spiritual and material prosperity, sympathetically viewed, will make civilization as a sovereign concept which Asian philosophy has established and propagated as its mission for Asian civilization. For Asian civilization, in its largest canvas is the book of life. Mental space. This canvas demands a mental space. This mental space is created exclusively through open-mindedness, prejudice-free space. Let the Asian concept of civilization bravely stated in the letter of the sister Nivedita, love alone can heal and help. Dinesh Raheja in his haiku has rightly said, the ice palace I build for you may melt, my love is frozen at time. नहीं बाकी Okay. The concept of civilization demands holistic way of life and living. Reflexivity is the backbone of civilization as an integration of life system and knowledge system. With the help of inquiry, caveat is made for transparency in theory and praxis. Today, we suffer from the crisis of representation, legitimation and practice which demand an inquiry into the human disciplines. Human disciplines cannot show themselves nor can capture lived experience. Human discipline today suffer from alienation, distancing and reduced society and social fact only as a text. We need an agent who is also an inquirer of one's own life and society, not in abstraction, but treating life as a performative living with curiosity and creativity. The inner and outer core of being demands interweaving, as has been stated as yang and yin. Self-indulgence is not narcissist tendency. Self-indulgence is the voice of the presence of the I. It is an existential predicament. This existential predicament is the hard core of Asian philosophy, devoid of the obsession of ego. Life is an ever unfolding of one's own being in an unknowable way. The stipulation of life in Asian philosophy is a conceit and crime. To be Catholic in thought and experience ensures the way of life in Asian philosophy. According to Daya Krishna, Indian civilization is a search for knowledge, and this search is continuous because Indian civilization do understand that nothing is fixed and static. Everything is moving and developing. Everything is changing, either deteriorating or building up. This spirit of inquiry is the virtue and core of Indian civilization. मैं कंक्लूड कर रहा हूँ मेरा ये पेपर. Asian philosophy will teach us the tolerance and gentleness of mature mind, the quiet content of the unacquisitive soul, the calm understanding of the spirit, and unifying and pacifying love for all living things. It is a just holistic living which should become the cartography of the universal way of living. Here, the tapas of Asian civilization, although demands and declare world as one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, needs to be complied in practice to nullify the clash of civilization. It is rightly said that world, though embedded with differences, is an honorable house of humanity. If this metaphor is attached to the concept of civilization, the world and philosophy has a future. The future lies not in segregation, but is to be viewed and treated holistically. The holistic frame and practice of understanding will give a new meaning to civilization, which is the demand of the day. Thank you.
I thank Professor Dilip Charan for focusing the significance of Asian civilization